Good evening, and welcome again to another broadcast from the bunker. I'm continuing my series interviewing game designers and game developers, and tonight we have with us Vicky Suez. You'll have to keep me right in the pronunciation there. I'm sorry if I'm not doing it justice. Vicky is going to be talking to us about her new game, which has just within the last hour launched on Kickstarter. That game is Adventures in Neverland, and Vicky is here to tell us about her love for the boy who never grew old from the famous J.M. Barrie Peter Pan. So, good evening, Vicky, and welcome.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. It's good to have you here. First off, tell us where are you in the world right now?
I am a Belgian, but I currently live in the Netherlands. So I moved recently to the Netherlands.
Okay, very good, very good. We are now branching out because we've spoke to people in America and all around Europe the last few days, and we're branching really, really far out now. So it's good to speak to people in other countries and find out how everything's affecting them with the lockdown and how gaming is still thriving during the lockdown. But anyway, we'll start with, can you tell us a wee bit about yourself and how you got into gaming?
Actually, I first thought that I did not like gaming at all. Turns out I was playing a different kind of game. For example, a lot of my friends were into heavy strategic games. And sometimes it felt a bit like homework. Like I have to take so many things into account. Lots of things can happen. I need to know what I want to do 5 turns from now. I did not feel a lot of appeal to that kind of games. At first I thought I didn't like gaming. And then I discovered there was such a thing as role-playing games. And, I really love reading. I love fairy tale books. I love stories in general. So when I discovered tabletop role-playing games, I was sold. I really love doing that. I've been playing them for 10 years now. And after that, I kind of rolled into the thematic board games. And from there on I got into board gaming. Yeah.
Very good. Role play is quite a different genre in itself from tabletop gaming and everything. So would you say that your favorite type of gaming is sort of story driven?
Yes. Yes. For example, I really like Mice and Mystics. I love Stuffed Fables, Mansions of Madness, things like that. Those are among my kind of favorite games out there.
So tell us a wee bit about your journey. How did you end up making Adventures in Neverland? I mean, how did you get there? Was it just a mad notion you had in the morning, in the middle of the night, early in the morning, or was there a big long plan to this?
No, it was kind of exactly the way you said, and it was a notion in the middle of the night, and I jumped out of bed and I scribbled down my first draft of the game. But at the time, I did not really think that it would become something as big as it is today, because I've been very lucky to have found the people who I'm working with right now, and I never thought that would be possible. So I'm still a little starstruck at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. It must be really, really amazing to have just released the Kickstarter and at this early stage seeing your idea scribbled down in a notepad has become what it has become. I remember in Essen there was artwork and everything up for the game, and I remember seeing it there and thinking, I need to find out more about this. I mean, I'm a fan of the book myself. My wife and my son are as well. So yeah, it's good to see another game and a narrative-driven game around the Peter Pan sort of story and mythos coming out. So I will be following it and jumping onto the Kickstarter myself. So tell me about your creative process. How did you develop the game? Did you have a group of friends or a group of colleagues that developed the rule set? Or
Well, first of all, I love Peter Pan. Obviously, it's my all-time favorite novel. And I kept thinking, I want a way to dive into that world myself. I want to explore the island. And as soon as I discovered the thematic board games, I thought, I'm going to look for a board game. And at the time, there weren't many Peter Pan themed related board games. So indeed, I put up a draft and I invited a couple of friends over to test the first prototype out. A lot of testing has been done since then, and at a certain point, I gathered my courage and I wrote to several conventions if they'd let me come and show my prototype at a convention. And surprisingly enough, I didn't know that at the time, but a lot of conventions invite beginning game designers and unpublished prototypes to showcase. That was really nerve-wracking. I did a lot of those, and at one such convention, I met Black Box Adventures. So we had a couple of meetings.
I think you're here.
Yeah. We had a couple of meetings, and we decided to work together. Yeah. I see, by the way, that you're still missing one game in the collection.
Yes, it should be right in the middle, but it's been lent to somebody, I can't remember who, and I'm not getting it back anytime soon because of isolation and social distancing. So that's unfortunate. So tell me this, you've just launched your Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a standard set of questions I work to, and the next question is, what's next? That's probably a bit early at this stage as you've just launched the Kickstarter, but can you give us a glimpse into, instead of what's next, are there any sort of stretch goals coming? Are there any sort of future developments for this game? Anything coming that you can maybe tell us about?
We will be announcing the stretch goals, I think, tomorrow on the Kickstarter with an update. Okay. We also want to include social stretch goals because, in short, it is a story-driven game. So you will go through different narrative cards and you explore different paths of a certain storyline. So we want to expand the game with more stories. That's the first kind of expansions that we're working for. Also, the game works with happening cards. That's the kind of card that will you will encounter when you won't expect it. And technically, that could be a special location. That could be a task like returning Peter's shadow. That could be a one-card adventure, and we can add more of those. Of course, there can be a lot more items to be added, things like that. So we did design the game with that kind of expansions in the back of our mind. So that's a possibility.
So kind of like add-ons and booster packs, if you will, that type of thing?
Yeah. Because we have a difference in the retail edition and the deluxe edition. And the deluxe edition has things like the miniatures and tuck boxes and upgraded components and whatnot. So those are things that will not be in retail, but only available through us or through the Kickstarter. Yeah.
For anybody who hasn't seen any of the artwork, it is quite beautiful. The illustrations are just lovely. Even the font and everything. It's a fantastic looking game. And I look forward to seeing more of it. And I encourage anyone who is listening to go and check out the Kickstarter and maybe push those social goals up, give it a like. So, yeah. So tell me this, another question I always ask people in interviewing, that we're now stuck in this isolation and lockdown. If you could pick any 3 games, what would they be? Any 3 games to play in lockdown?
Well, except for Adventures in Neverland.
Well, except for that, yes. Just park that one for
now. Masquerade, social deduction card game, Mice and Mystics, and Villainous.
Villainous, yes. It's very good. It's a very pretty looking game as well. So, yes.
I love the theme.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any sort of thing you'd like to add now, anything you want to say, now's your chance. If you want to have a shameless self-promotion and plug for the game, go now. The platform is yours.
Yeah, of course, I'd like to ask everybody to go and check out our Kickstarter page. And if you like the game, back it and follow us on Facebook and on Instagram and visit our website. And I'm really, really excited about making this game, bringing it to life. I'm just really excited. I don't know what to say anymore. So please, if you like the game, go and back it.
Fantastic. We will attach links and everything in the comments whenever the video goes live. But listen, thank you for sharing your time with us here. It's been great speaking to you. I'll not keep you too much longer because I happen to know you have a glass of champagne in your hand to celebrate the launch of your Kickstarter. Let's see that. There we go. Congratulations. And
thank you.
Best of luck with the Kickstarter. And I hope to come back and maybe speak to you whenever the Kickstarter finishes and find out how everything's progressed.
I'd love that.
Keep in touch. And we will speak to you again soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.